Kyle, I apologize. I know you've been asked already, but just talk us through what this race was like for you. Very chaotic with the tires.
Yeah, it was super chaotic, really weird. I don't know. It was just the track wasn't laying any rubber down, so you kind of had to just ride because it was just wearing through the rubber in the tires. And I felt like I was doing a good job managing my stuff, and we just never really got a long run to show how good I guess I was doing at saving. I felt like I would have been right there with how well the 11 and those guys were saving their stuff, but we got the penalty, had to go to the back, and then I had to race hard to try and gain positions and wore through my right front, and then we were one of the first handful of cars, I think, to pit, and must have just made good time through that sequence and somehow cycled out to finish fifth. So I don't really know how that happened, but it was weird.
So what was today like?
Well, I mean, if I knew I was only doing this one time, I would say that was a lot of kind of fun. It was weird, to have to like manage and guess on like how hard to run, guess how each run was going to play out. You were kind of constantly just in traffic and managing distance to people in front and behind. So like the strategy side of that and the driver's seat was kind of fun, but I would never want to do that again. Like that was to have to run a race like that every week would be not good. And it's honestly probably a black eye to Goodyear, just with all the rubber that couldn't get laid down and just wearing through tires and all that. So yeah, it was just different, and we somehow made the most of it and somehow got to fifth.
If you knew you had like 3 more sets of tires and knew it's just going to be tire management, would that have been okay?
Well, I don't think it would have been any different of a race because you don't want to be the first one to wear out a tire. So you're still trying to make your tire live longer than everybody else's. So if we would have had 10 extra sets of tires, I don't think it would have looked any differently. Maybe just the end of that second stage would have looked different, but that's about it. So yeah, just wild that it never took rubber.
And have the penalty, do you think you could have won?
I doubt it. Denny, I think, put together a really good run there. Like he was, when everybody was struggling with, because they were all down to quarters and like pitting, he was still good and could make time. So I think he would have been really hard to beat. But maybe if I don't have the penalty, maybe I finish a couple spots better. Maybe I finish a handful of spots worse too. So you just don't really know how it plays out. So I'll be happy with the fifth that we had with the penalty.
It's different, Ride is the spice of life.
What do you think caused the tire issue?
I had no idea. It was different. I just don't know why. Whether there was some difference in the compound, the resin, I don't know.
Would you prefer this style compared to maybe what you saw last week at Phoenix?
Yeah, the driver's been asking for the tires to wear out more. We got it. This was, if we were like a 2 on a 10 scale, this was a 9 or a 10, It's kind of like maybe there's a middle ground somewhere, but it was definitely a different race. I had a lot of fun. I felt like you had to be really smart. It reminded me of one of Matt Weaver's short track late model races for a while. And you know what? It's good to have something different every once in a while.
Do you think it was too extreme today?
We went from like I said, a 2 to a 10. Maybe there's somewhere in the middle here.
Is that the discipline you talked about earlier?
Oh, big today.
Obviously, it's unfortunate. You can't blame the tire solely. There's a lot of other contributing factors to what played out here today, but it ended up being a pretty good show and an exciting event for a lot of the folks here, I can tell you that.
From like a crew chief's point of view, your competition point of view, what do you think outside of the tire led into this?
There's a lot of things. It's overcast all day. The track was cool. The track treatment is a different substance than what we've used in the past and what this tire has been built for and designed for. Since we've been here, it's been a different traction compound. So when you throw that into the mix and cool temperatures like that, you can have results like this occasionally.
Is this a positive overall? I mean, it's too far, obviously, but is it a positive overall to see things like that?
I don't know. I think nobody intended for this to happen today, I can tell you that.
After yesterday, was this what you anticipated, but maybe not to this extreme? Or
Yeah, we definitely knew there was going to be some tire wear issues, but typically the track will rubber up a little bit about lap 200, and it just didn't today. And I think a lot of that has to do with, like I said, the overcast clouds, being a little bit cooler today, and the different traction compound played into that a lot.
what do you hope the sport does moving forward after a day like today? And
Just like everything, I'm sure they'll go back, take a look at it, and make some proper decisions when we come back in the fall.
how do you feel about your day overall with your organization? I know this was a very challenging day for everybody, so it's maybe not an accurate measurement of how things are throughout the season, but how do you look at today for your
Yeah, I think it was good reaction for Hendrick Motorsports and all. It's unfortunate the 24 had an issue early on. Otherwise, I feel like he could have been in the top 10 with our other three cars, but to have 2 in the top 5 and 3 in the top 10, not a bad day, but we definitely have some work to do.
And I guess a step forward after the results of last week is just not.
Sure, yeah, I agree. Again, we've still got a lot of work to do to get to where we want to be on the short tracks, but maybe today was a sign to regaining on it a little bit.
Thanks, Chad.
How much fun were that last run?
It would have been a lot more fun if I just could have come out of the pits with Denny. When he pitted, I was on his bumper. We came out, we were over straightaway behind, so that was really the difference. We just too much ground to make up, and I had to use too much tire to get there. I tried to get there and then save, and it just, the last 5 laps my rubber was gone. So just lost too much time around the green flag sequence.
Where's the balance between having a race like this and you guys saying that there needs to be more fall off, but not quite like this, right?
Yeah, I think obviously it's good when the tires wear like that. Obviously, the left sides didn't wear at all, which is a problem. We need to, figure out how to make the left sides wear too, and then the right side's not quite as much. So I think the big issue today was, for whatever reason, no rubber went down on the racetrack, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just too cold. Maybe they changed the rubber or whatever. But last year it was nothing like this. So something's different, and it's up to the Goodyear and NASCAR, whoever, to figure out what's different. But aside from that, it's fun racing that way, and you kind of gotta be a little smarter than just go all out all day long, which we pretty much do everywhere. So it's different, unique, and glad we were able to figure it out.
Is that resin instead of PJ1 having that effect?
I don't think so, no. You look at the racetrack, the only place there's any rubber's on the bottom. So, usually the middle and top grooves come in. It's just all that rubber dust up top. You can't ever get up there to run the top end. So, even practice yesterday, we knew something was different. 25 laps, our tires were gone on the right sides. They were just completely wore out. So, somebody will have to figure out why it's all different than last year.
Certainly different. I'm all for tire management. I think probably the situation today was a little too far, but it was something different, and was more like a chess match. Like, at any point you could pass the car in front of you, but you were just gonna kill the right side tires. So just had to be smart about it, and we had a really good race car that was able to take care of the right side tires and maintain track position, and glad to end up where we did.
How much did experience play a factor into knowing how aggressively to save tires versus how aggressively to charge for it?
Yeah, some short track racing I did growing up, it was really important to save tires. So try to do more of the same with that, and glad it paid off.
How can you use this top 5 to move on to future weeks of the momentum?
Yeah, I think yesterday Blake and I were pretty mad to go qualify 29th, and qualifying after the break never helped, but certainly we haven't been qualifying how we need to. So just to come out of here with a good finish and positive momentum is good. We need to continue to execute. Next week's one of my best racetracks, so excited to get back there. Just gotta go from there.